Yo, if you could stop yelling, that'd be good.
All right, it's another week, another Ask Me Anything happy hour. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you're getting your questions ready because that's what this entire Brady Bunch here is there for, is to answer your questions. So we're going to get right back to it, go around the block, talk about who every one of us are, and then you're going to get your questions ready. We'll see you in just a few. All right, as people start to come in, welcome to Ask Me Anything Happy Hour. We've been doing this show for a long time. It's where the entire team gets together, has a cold beverage. Seems to be water is the choice of beverage lately. But we answer your questions. That's what we're here for, is really just to make sure that all your questions, all your concerns, all your wonders get answered on this. But let's start by just going around the block, and we'll start with Mr. Fouts.
Ooh, someone's got a call coming in. Hey, everybody, Brian Fouts here up in North Idaho, one of the mentors here over at BYOB. And just, having a lot of calls recently, lots of calls, and kind of cool. A lot of actually family policies recently, which I love to see. People open up policies on themselves, their kids, grandkids, spreading it around. So I just love seeing that. You know, that's kind of what it's all about. But I'll go to Shauna.
Sorry, I got too many tabs open. Hey guys, I'm up here in Western New York with Joe and Chris, and I love coming to Ask Me Anything because you guys all bring really great questions, and there's a lot of wisdom on this call. So I will be reading all the questions. So that's my gig. I'll pass it over to Stephen.
Such a good reader.
Hey, what's up, guys? I am what they call the spider whisperer. I love spiders. I can make them do tricks. I can do all kinds of cool things. So if you guys have any questions about those creepy 8-legged monsters, I'm your man today. Happy to be here. Thank you.
There'll be a lot of questions just about that.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Hey, everyone. Lennis Nolt here from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Definitely staying busy, helping lots of people start their policies for infinite banking. Let me tell you about an interesting phone call I just got in the last 30 minutes. This unknown number, spam risk from Pennsylvania. I'm like, I'll answer it. I actually usually do answer spam calls because in the past, sometimes there's somebody I'm actually doing business with. I answer it, and there's this lady wanting to know my occupation. I'm like, why is this? Who are you? What the heck? And it's some distant relative of my mom's putting together a family record book of sorts, because I have tons of cousins and second cousins. I have literal tons of distant relatives, man. So felt really good to tell her that I'm an investor and a wealth strategist. Not something I could have said 5 years ago.
That's awesome.
Awesome, man.
Tess.
Hey, I'm Tess, and am I doing feedback? Okay, I'm Tess. I've been around this campfire for about a year as an agent. Insurance has been my life for over 30 years, and I'm excited to be on this side, watching, as Brian said earlier, generations get involved in taking back control of their financial future. Now over to you.
HELOC Joe here. Been playing with real estate for 20 plus years. HELOCs, Velocity Banking for almost 16 years. Private money lending for going on over 10 years. Been part of the team for 5 years and here to answer your questions. Off to the man in the sheets.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Craig Yenny here, and just staying busy with building out the vault, writing a book about the debt blaster trifecta. So we're staying very busy here and looking forward to answering all your questions. And oh my gosh,
Yes.
what is this?
Stephen.
Steven's not doing his job as Spider Whisperer.
Look at Craig.
Not looking, dude. He's trying to do this on my end. No,
We're going to bring spiders
All
to
right.
the next event for Stephen.
My spider wants to hear from Jason. So on to Jason.
Thank you, Mr. Spider Yenny. It's good to be here again from Orlando with all of you. Don't believe anything we're telling you. Don't believe anything I'm saying. We want you to think for yourself. But ask us anything. Ask us any question. And on camera, I love it because I'm as tall as the guy next to me, when in reality, I am not. So over to my friend, Mr. Hurley.
Hey everybody, Carson Hurleen, coming from Southern California today. A mentor on this BYOB Infinite Banking team, and we're grateful that you're here every Wednesday to learn more, ask questions, and get to know us. Throw your questions in the chat, and we'll get cracking.
All right, and then I know Ethan's backstage. We'll be able to pull you up as soon as Chris takes a hike for his grandma's 90th birthday here. In
90 plus. I can't remember her birthday. What it is. It's 90 something.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
So far, no questions, but just a little comment here. Justin saying this morning's What the F was different. Wasn't on there live, but watched it after, and definitely was. There was a difference with having St. James on.
We definitely warned everybody it was going to get spicy and seasoned.
By the way, nobody gave me a heads up. I roll into What the F like every other one.
That was by design.
I had no idea either.
That was by design. 100%.
No heads up. No, this is going to be a debate.
It was perfect. Okay. Like you guys were just going at it, and I actually had to step in and be like, "Okay, we're going to move on to the next topic."
No, that was fun though.
It was just we wanted to spice it up and mix it up, and we're always just talking about one side of the aisle, and now we brought in the other side, and holy shit, did that ever get really interesting? So spiders. Who wants to talk about spiders?
Not Stephen Nagy.
Well, I mean, I like spiders. I have no issue with spiders. Teaching my daughter not to be afraid of spiders, teaching her all the good that they do. And, today it's been back there for a while, but today on Wealth Webinar, I just looked over and there was a spider crawling across a wolf. I think it was a wolf spider. Maybe it was a brown recluse. I don't know. Can someone pull up what a brown recluse looks like? I'll let you know. Because if that was one, man, that was dumb what I was doing. But yeah, I had a spider and Steven's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, he's right here. And I was trying to pick him up, like get him to crawl on my hand. He wouldn't. He jumped. I don't see spiders jump a lot, but
that does look like what you was on your screen, dude. That brown recluse. Here, I'll share.
Share that. Let me see what it looked like. They got like
we do have jumping spiders down here in Florida, Chris, that Stephen probably loves.
Ew.
No, that definitely looks nothing like the one. Pull up a wolf spider.
It's probably a wolf spider. They're hairy.
If nobody's got questions, you guys get to learn about the different species of spiders. That one you're looking at there, don't mess with it.
That's very cool.
Is that something?
That was like the one that was at my house, though. The one where my cursor is. This one?
Disgusting.
Yeah, that's like a wolf spider, right? Look up a wolf spider. They're creepy.
Steven, I think we need to see your video.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the one that I had. Actually, here, useless knowledge, but ask it if wolf spiders jump.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Okay.
I know that from growing up in Virginia.
I had an orb weaver make a home in my car once.
Oh, Christians had been bitten by one of those things. Oh, ouch. By a brown recluse? How'd you live? Aren't those like deadly?
Right. So
no, they cause rot in your skin.
What is this one then? This is the one that was in my fridge.
It is so nasty.
That does not look like a wolf spider. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the wolf spider.
Play the video.
Just Google the image and you'll find out.
It's missing a leg. It's been through some shit.
What kind of spider was that before he flamethrower? Or
I think that's a wolf.
Flamethrower out?
I would have hit it with the flamethrower.
In the risk of burning your house down. Have you seen his flamethrower?
Yeah, but
they don't even have any ice out there. You get one of those to melt the ice on your driveway. You guys don't even have ice.
It got mad at me though, and then it started like trying to attack. Like,
oh, I'm sure it didn't.
No, watch, dude. Its family, its whole family came after me. Look at this. Like it started. Look at this. Its
Is
whole
that
family.
real?
No. I ran at
that
when I ran, dude. So.
Well done.
Oh my gosh.
I ran.
I was under in New Jersey inspecting. I used to, in the summers, work for the county engineering office in the planning department and go under bridges and take measurements. And I went under a bridge, Stephen, and there was at least probably 25 feet of spiders like that all over the top of the bridge. Like I'm talking thousands and thousands.
Ooh.
Needless to say, I did not walk under that side. I had the other guy do that and measure it. So Brian, this is on you. You do it. So
somehow miraculously we have no questions.
That is crazy. Like people just want to have us just keep talking about spiders. Fine. I'm looking at the difference between a brown recluse and a wolf spider because I seriously think Stephen had something interesting.
We distracted everybody.
Okay, so that was a wolf spider that you had. So what the heck was it that was out back?
I don't know, man. In other news, I just signed up for a golf tournament at one of the masterminds we go to. I haven't golfed in 5 years, and when I did last time, I knocked about 8 off houses. So that's going to be interesting.
That's always fun, man. Last time I went golfing, we was downtown Winter Park, and after I hit a couple cars, I was like, I'm done. I'll just walk around looking for balls the rest of the time.
But I did order a new bag, so I'll be looking good while taking things out.
Yeah, I know you're a sharp dresser, man. So I know your shoes and your shirt. You'll be all, you'll be looking sharp. So
I got the J's.
Well, here, Steven, I'll send you one of these. This is my golf ball business that I am part owner of. It's a cigar holder.
Yeah, use a few of those, please. Yes, thank you.
Hey, so I got a question. What's going on in September? What kind of things do we have going on in September?
You guys tell me.
No, you tell me. You tell me.
2-day advanced IBC training. Where's that link, Craig?
Oh, I just looked over. The picture was still up with a spider. And I thought it was real.
There is a such thing as a jumping spider. That's what we had back there. He looks just like the one I was talking about.
Wow.
Steven, he's so cute. Let me show you what he looks like.
No, I'm taking your screen share abilities away.
Listen, nobody's asking questions, so I don't know what they expect us to do. So we're talking about just the most stupid, uncommon things. There you go, Steven. There's the guy that was out back. That's what he looked like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's so isn't he cute? Look at you can just pet those little furs on his back and just let him these little things he plays with your finger.
They're usually not the ones down in Florida, Chris, aren't that big of the jumping ones. They're usually pretty small.
Yeah, he wasn't huge. Steven freaked out.
I do have a question though. So Christian is saying, Carson, how's the new bundle of joy? Are you getting your beauty rest still?
Oh, good question. It's been awesome, guys. He's 3 weeks old as of yesterday. It's been amazing. Excited for you guys to meet him. He's 10 pounds now. He's getting big. He eats a lot. He's sleeping pretty good. We're getting I'm getting a decent amount of sleep. Anna's doing as best as she can. But it's been amazing. Thanks for asking, Christian.
That's awesome.
We could share the 2-day. I mean, Shauna loves
talk about that.
I do. I love the blue.
The blue at the.
Was it blue this afternoon?
What's that?
I thought it was orange this afternoon.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, so everybody on the screen here is presenting during these 2 days. It's going to be amazing. And I was just talking to Jason about his plan. He's putting a lot of time and effort into it, which is really cool. I know Carson and Joe got some really cool stuff planned. Of course, Craig's going to steal the show with the advanced vault trainings that we're going to be doing. And, Brian Fouts always shares something that's useful. So it should be a good training. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks.
But get your tickets. It's $47. And you won't regret it, I promise.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty epic. It's definitely doing a lot of stuff we've never done before.
Steven, do you want to hit on the giveaway too? The part I feel like earlier you said something different than it was, but it was pretty close.
Yeah, we're going to give away some really cool stuff like $5,000 in cash and some money take tickets and stuff like that. And as soon as I know the exact details, I'll let y'all know that too. But to get into it, you do have to qualify. So you got to be there for the days, and then be there at the end for the drawing to win the $5,000 in cash. But it's going to be fun. That's all you got.
And the price can't get any better, so sign up now. There's nothing to wait for. Just do it now.
It's not even like $47.99. It's just $47, dude. That's it. So it's easy.
Oh my gosh, I just did the same thing. I just posted. Hilarious.
All right,
we didn't click any one of those 50 links that we just put up. I was just making sure you didn't miss it.
We do have one question. So
I got to at least stick around for one.
Okay, so Lou is, I think, saying, I've been watching your videos as well as Christine. maybe Christie's. I want to make a change. However, my daughter just started college. Where should I start? I've been using the Velocity.
It depends. We don't know where you are.
Add it in a little bit more. So with a credit card that has 3,000 but haven't dived in, what should I do? I can't get a HELOC.
IBC sounds like a natural start.
IBC or, Earl the Pearl, Nightingale's 7 rules of wealth. If you're not paying yourself first and saving money, we have to kind of know where you're at, what you're doing, what your habits are, and help guide you on how you can build a better path forward, my friend, where you will be proactive in your financial endeavors versus reactive like most Americans. Not you, though, but everyone else.
Yeah, like Velocity Banking, I fully understand it. I just understand it well with a HELOC, a personal line of credit, or something to that extent. But there are people who teach Velocity Banking with credit cards, and that I just can't wrap my head around. I think that's a very dangerous thing to do. So,
It is dangerous.
When you say that you can't get a HELOC, like, can you get a personal line of credit? Like some of those to use Velocity Banking. I mean, we need the engine. Craig, do you have anything to say on this? I mean, IBC seems the most logical for just the little info that we have.
Yeah, and I think what I would want, so Luis, if you schedule a call with our team, just come prepared with what are your debts, what does your cash flow look like in terms of what your income and expenses. We want to figure out what that cash flow is that we can work with. What are you saving? But if you're at a point where you have debt where you don't have a lot of cash flow, then we can look at least getting your debts organized into, the snowball, the avalanche cash flow index, one of those efficiency models. And after you get a debt or two knocked off, maybe you have some cash flow at that point that you can start running that into Velocity Banking. You could do policies, but we're always going to meet you where you are, figure out where you need to start, and then how do we get to you where you want to get to. So that's what I'd have to say about this one.
I've had clients come to me and say, I can't get a HELOC. I went to the bank. That bank calculated the DTI prior, not after the consolidation. He might not even know if he can get a HELOC.
Yeah.
Because the way the bank is doing the calculations. So he can't get a HELOC. Is it due to the DTI? Did they calculate it before or after? Did they consolidate it along with the mortgage, or did they just try to use the equity? Can't he get a HELOC? Is it because of his job, or the percentage of his income isn't going to be high enough? See, there's so much that we can still do, but there's not enough information yet.
That person just needs to book a call with Joe. All right, I'm going to tag out and tag Ethan in. Ethan, you ready? You ready to be tagged in, man? You all juiced up and ready? Did your push-ups and your pull-ups in the back? All right. Thanks, everybody. I will see you on the next one.
Hey, Chris.
I'll go out, Ethan in, tag.
Bada bing, bada boom. Look at
And
that.
then Jason's asking, is a line of credit the same as a credit card?
No, but sort of.
I mean, credit card, different. A line of credit, I call it a revolving line of credit. That's what makes them different. Money goes in and out, in and out. Yeah, but they're both loans to the bank.
A credit card is also a revolving line of credit, but it works different, and interest rates are in a completely different world between the two.
Oh yeah.
A line of credit is more or less like a personal line of credit, secured or unsecured with the bank. Usually the rates are a little bit higher than a HELOC because it doesn't have the house as collateral. And then the credit card, obviously the interest is higher than the personal because there's nothing to substantiate that.
The big difference on a line of credit is you can take it out of the line of credit into cash into your account, your bank account, and then go do whatever you want with it.
You can do that with credit cards too. There's some new services that allow it for any credit cards that I'm just learning about.
Cash advance, yeah.
No, it's not a cash advance. It works as a purchase on the card, but to you, it kind of works like a cash advance. But it's still, it comes at a cost, plus the high interest on the credit card. I wouldn't use it for Velocity Banking.
No, and I have multiple lines of, personal lines of credit, they call them, and I've used them for different things, investing, all that. Yeah.
All right. And then Jacob is also asking, is there a direct phone number to call for info on infinite banking concept?
Mr. Steven, I think put in the call link inside there, I think.
Yeah. So instead of us having a number that you call us at, we have a calendar invite, and usually you can click on that calendar and availability should be as early as tomorrow. So I know it would be great to pick up a phone call and call us today, but you can schedule for tomorrow.
And be prepared to do some work prior, because we want to make sure you watch the presentation. You kind of have a framework when you're coming into the call. Well, I think Craig might have mentioned, coming in knowing what you're making, what you're spending, what you're keeping, just having a general idea of where you're at financially and what goals you want to achieve, so we can actually help you.
Correct. Yeah, that call is definitely going to be for next steps, not necessarily just the info. But if you want more info, you can always email me. I'll put my email in the chat too, and I can send you some written material and some videos and that calendar link as well. And then so you can go through the content and then book a call. So that would be helpful there. Chris is saying, hey guys, how do you think NVIDIA's stellar earnings numbers will affect the technologies and the crypto market this cycle?
Bring Chris back.
Phelps, why'd you put your arms up? You got a crystal ball, don't you?
Yep. I think we'll pull it out of somewhere real quick. Yeah, I don't follow that NVIDIA's earnings or the crypto market really right now, so I couldn't even tell you on that one.
I don't do crypto or stocks.
Definitely could ask again, but maybe when Chris is here, he might have more to say. We don't. Kathleen is saying, happy news here. We got our first policy loan and paid off our credit cards. Thanks to the amazing Brian Fouts and to all of you. My family is eternally grateful. That's awesome. Congrats, Kathleen.
And they had a long journey to get that in place. That's awesome. We got here. It's pretty cool.
You should put the amazing Brian Fouts in front of your name, my friend.
There you go.
And I'll put a little hat on too.
And then Wes is saying, what are plans for older investors with low income but higher assets? So property, IRAs, etc.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There are plans. We just need to figure out what works for you, what it is that you want to do, what you need to do, what your goals are. Book a call with us and we can go through that and figure it out with you.
Yeah, Wes, and I think Raj connected us, and I sent you a calendar link. So what we would want to do is just kind of talk about what you're trying to accomplish, and then, properties, IRAs. How do we potentially move these puzzle pieces around to put you in the position you need? So let's book a call, and we'll dig into it.
Just a little question on that, because my mom actually just went to go get a HELOC, but she wasn't approved because her income was so low. So I know some people might be sitting on a lot of equity, but their income might not necessarily unlock that for them. Is there any other strategies for that or considerations? Or, maybe not strategies, but
Yeah, I think a lot of that, Shauna, from my perspective, just to understand what are the pieces that you have in terms of IRAs, property, cash flow. What, if you're in retirement, what are those retirement? What's that cash flow? And then you might have some IRAs you're not doing anything with, and maybe reposition how some of that works. But it could be a debt to income ratio issue. So there's a lot of things we could cover.
Mm-hmm. Jake is saying, just applied for a HELOC and they lowered my home interest rate down almost 4%. Cool. And no questions after that.
Talk about spiders some more.
Lowered his home interest rate by 4%? How's that work?
Like his mortgage or like the...
Yeah. What do you think, Joe? What is he saying there? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Because he said lowered my home interest rate down almost 4%. So it sounds like if he was at 10, he went down to 6.
So
Yeah, Jacob is
Maybe.
on an ARM mortgage where it's an adjustable rate mortgage.
Yeah.
maybe because he got the HELOC, now he adjusted the rate, but you can't compare amortization to simple interest.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That might be what he's referring to,
I think
where
it could
the
be.
effective interest rate is now for lower than his mortgage had been. Maybe.
Yeah.
In Joe's words, be careful of that devil's math.
That is true. I think it's a good thing though. Unless he still has a mortgage and a HELOC. And then they lowered his mortgage rate.
He said they adjusted my rate, and he was close to 10%.
That's good. Picked up the phone, made a call, got things adjusted.
Good.
We knew you were excited, so thanks for sharing.
Yeah. I knew it was a good thing. Just couldn't figure out why.
Carlos is saying I had my first call with Brian yesterday. Thanks again for the info.
Yeah. Awesome.
And then Wes is asking, because he was asking another question, so it's a follow-up question. Do you help me move my IRA out of tax deferred with low tax hit, or can I move it into IBC?
So when you take funds out of that qualified area, you will be paying taxes. So you'll want to talk to your CPA about how to do that position the best you can. But one of the strategies we've done in the past is you can take your IRA and take distributions, put that into whole life. So you're not taking a big chunk all at once. You can just kind of strategically move it over. And what you're essentially doing is moving money from a taxable account into a whole life policy that's going to be tax advantage. And then also you've got the death benefit with tax advantages there. So that's one thing you could do, is kind of drip it out of your IRA into premiums, and whole life would be one strategy. But the government's going to want their piece of it as it comes out of that IRA.
And if you're under 59 and a half, you got the penalty.
10%.
10%.
It depends on how much is in there too. We could always move it over to a self-directed IRA, put that to investing, and then instead of putting in a dump, because I'm kind of figuring that's what he's looking at, using the IRA for a dump into the IBC, just create the IBC with what he has and grow off of that while he's still making money on his money. And when the interest comes in, he can take that out and still have his assets working for him and just use interest.
And there's all sorts of cool things you can do with, say you have an IRA, you don't need or necessarily need the income out of it. We can connect you up with Mike Samet, our long-term care guy, and there's some cool things you can do for long-term care plans. So
yeah,
a lot of different plays on that money.
Okay. And then Annette's kind of asking the same question. Do you think we covered that? Okay.
I think so.
All right. Kristen saying, had a call with Brian last week or so ago. Been busy with all the reading material he suggested. Currently doing velocity banking, which helped pay off high interest and maxed out credit cards. Congrats.
See, the amazing Brian Feltz.
The amazing Brian Feltz.
And her credit score improved by 30 points. Can't wait to talk to Brian again soon. Love that.
So going back to the default topic of this call, spiders.
Spiders.
Listen, I'm the nice guy. You know, I treat people fairly and equally. I mean, unless they're being a bitch. But that aside,
No.
even then, I try to be nice. All right. So not to be racist here. That was the whole pretext of that.
Now this is getting more and more interesting. You sure you
Where
want
are we going with this one?
Listen, black widows are the common spiders here. That's all I wanted to say.
common. That shouldn't be a thing. Really?
Yeah, they're pretty. We'll see them regularly. I wouldn't say I see them once a week, maybe more like once a month. They are also poisonous, not and necessarily deadly, but they can be if you don't take care of the bite.
Yeah, they're intimidating. My sister got bit by one, and it wasn't pretty afterwards. Like, she got treated and everything, but it left like, yeah, it wasn't good. But Patty has a fear of spiders like Steven, and she has been healing herself by going and capturing the spiders and bringing them outside and not killing them and showing the boys she's not afraid. So, maybe Patty could, next time we're all together, Steven, she could kind of guide you on that journey.
No, I'm good, dude. I got a big ass bottle of freaking wasp spray. I can spray it from like 30 feet away. It kills them instantly. And if they're big, I just take out the flamethrower. So I'm all set. Thank you.
I didn't know. I thought maybe you wanted to work on your fears. Like I faced my fear of heights by like jumping off a bridge.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason and Patty are all about exposure therapy.
Yes. Yeah. We're about doing the thing.
Greg, kicking them off. It's good to be in charge.
It's good to be in charge, he says. I've never heard Steven say that. It's good.
Yeah, do it again. Maybe I'll be next to you and I can just kind of crawl the same order.
See you guys next week.
No. Oh boy.
He's giving us too much ammunition for the next event.
Oh,
All right, we do have a question now. All right, Anna's saying, now that the vault is available, how will that change the way you mentor your clients? Will they have to purchase the vault?
Ooh.
That is a very good question, and some things that we're working through right now. You'll never have to buy the vault.
I was going to say that. Yes, you do. You have to.
Well,
You'll
you'll
want
never have to, but my thing is, if you're going to be serious about infinite banking and you want to get into those advanced strategies, it's going to make your life a lot easier. So,
And let's stay here for a second and fun, because it's a great question, Anna. And I know Craig's being super careful because he always wants to serve. But I think with infinite banking, there's a lot of different stages, and not everyone necessarily is going to get to the point of being in advanced strategies. Like, we would love for everyone to come there and join and use all the wonderful tools and strategies and moving the money. But you might be just looking for a better place to save your money. Like, rather than getting paid 0.07%, having it do nothing additional for your family, maybe just putting your money, your emergency fund in a policy, and now you're an infinite banking saver. Or maybe you're someone who's just paying off debt, and the vault is amazing for that, but maybe not something you need, because we'll provide that going through the process. So like Craig's saying, you won't ever be, required to purchase it. But if you want to be really advanced, you'll want to at some point. And at the same time, maybe you don't need to. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So just trying to remind, I guess, anyone else who's new listening, that it's a lifelong journey, and it doesn't start with like full blown understanding everything, knowing how to do it all. It just doesn't work like that. I've been doing it for 4.5 years, and I still feel like I don't know anything, and every day I'm learning something new. So every time I hear Craig say something new, I'm like, great, I got to go back to the study books. I don't know what he's talking about. So.
Yeah, so I think that's a good perspective, because we're always, this whole team is willing to meet people where they are, and you might be at a point where you can't even start infinite banking yet, so we'll get you prepared so you can. Then you go to step 1, step 2, and eventually you get HELOCs and private lending and all these things going on, and it's a different world. It's a completely different world. But we always say, let's get your cash flow in a better position, let's get you out of debt, and then let's build on it.
Yeah, the goal and a theme. Thank you, Craig. A theme that's been coming up a lot in my brain this week is when people tell me their feelings and it's too good to be true. And I had a guy that was retired Army, super smart guy, 27-year Army vet. And he was like, yeah, I knew about the laws of wealth, and I've known about banking for decades now. And in my mind, I was saying, well, no, actually, I'm not going to tell you don't know about it, because you're not doing it. If you're not taking action, you don't actually know it. You're aware of it, but if you're not doing it, you're not doing anything. And so he wasn't following the laws of wealth. They were paying a lot of debt out. They had a lot of things that still had time that they could change their environment and have a better outcome. But up until that point, he just kind of knew that there was a different way, hadn't looked at it. So you're in that situation. You're always reactive because life is going to throw change. You're going to need new cars. They had a rental property that just had an emergency repair and might need a refrigerator. And so at this point, they're going to go finance that and pay someone else interest to use that loan versus just taking their savings, changing the environment they're saving it in, building it up. And then when that happens, they're ready. So it's going from being reactive to being proactive moving forward. Like, do you want control? Do you want to stop feeling stressed? If you feel stressed about money, it's because of something that you're not addressing and don't know what's going to happen in the future. And so if you want more control, if you want more certainty, then you want to have a system that's going to grow with you. It shows yourself that you're taking care of yourself and you're being proactive for everything that's going to happen. I think that's the shift that we're looking to help everyone make. Fair, everyone? Anyone have thoughts?
It is fair, and it is their misconception is also fair because it is a true click. And so you just got to wait for it. Christian is asking, how do I accelerate into this so-called advanced strategies y'all speak of, Craig? So what would make somebody kind of be eligible or ideal for the advanced strategies department, I guess?
Well, and I was kind of reading this in a different manner where maybe Christian is asking, how do I get into some of those advanced strategies you guys are talking about? But either way, it's fine. It's so that we always want to start with where are you financially? What do you have? What are the puzzle pieces? And if you have debt, let's get that out of your life first. And let's build wealth while we're getting rid of that debt. Because at the end of that cycle, if you have policies, maybe you've got HELOCs, and that's really what we spent this whole month on, wealth webinar with CMG, the all-in-one, the first lien HELOC. You know, Harrison and his team, they talk about the Oreo, which is obliterate debt, recapture, put your money to work and then do it all again. So you're going to use your policies, you're going to use your HELOCs for helping to get out of debt. Then you're going to use your policies and your HELOCs to build more wealth. And so those are some of the things that we want to get people on that journey, is just kind of get all those individual pieces in place and start building more cash flow. And as you build more cash flow, just like what Joe and I talked about, we paid our houses off multiple times. Well, then you put that money into more policies and more investments and just keep the wheel going. And I'll tell you from my own journey, it starts really slow. It starts really slow, but if you don't do it, it's never going to get to the point where that spins, right? And so a lot of times, and I was in the same trap. I would look at people and go, well, I'll never be able to get there. But 10 years later, it's a different picture. 16 years doing infinite banking. It took a while to get here, but so those are the things. Just take those individual steps and get rid of the debt, recapture, build wealth, build more wealth, and just keep going.
Each of these things are just tools. How do we use the tool? How do we use the HELOC? Do we use the HELOC the way the bank thinks that you're going to use a HELOC? Oh, I need a HELOC and I'm going to take the money. I'm going to put a roof on my house. Absolutely not. We take the money, HELOC, run it through the policy, put it into an investment. Interest comes in. Now we'll use the interest to put the roof on the house. Totally different. Same tool. We just use the tool differently.
Joe, Craig, can I read a question? I think it'll serve everyone here about HELOCs and IBC kind of advanced stuff for someone that's having a hard time wrapping their head around it.
Sure.
Is that cool? Okay. So this is a direct message I received earlier. As I told you, I have no savings because I'm doing velocity banking to pay down my home mortgage. I have a HELOC of $60K. I owe $30,000 right now, and I'm using my cash flow to pay it down. but if my cash flow is going to be tied up or tied down to pay premium on the IBC policy, how will I pay the HELOC down? Is what his question is. And this guy, just so you know, he has pretty good saving habits. If he wasn't just over putting everything into the HELOC, he has a couple $1,000s a month that could flow into the policy before it went to the HELOC.
First of all, if that was my strategy call, I'd bring it back. We have to explain what the IBC actually is. It's a run through. How much money are we leaving in? It's the portion that he's not leaving in that he's running through. That's the banking policy. So that small portion that he's leaving in, that $200, $300 a month on $1,000, that's not going to stop any payment of a HELOC if he's talking $60,000 HELOC. It's the amount of money that he's actually running through his PUA. That's the banking portion that he wants to pay himself before paying off the debt. So it's the education, and he's missing something in the start of the IBC translation of how it actually works. So that's where I would start. He's already doing velocity banking, but is every penny going into the HELOC, or how is he doing the velocity banking with the checking account? So we need to see how efficient he is being there, and how is he utilizing the money. So that's where I would start.
And Joe, I mean, those are great points. And the way I kind of always approach this is, whether you're doing velocity banking, paying down debts, there's three things that I'm looking at is, how do we build efficiency into your debt pay down? And that's going to be, how do you order and organize your debts, and what structure, which ones do you go after first?
Mm-hmm.
Step two is we're going to build speed into the equation with velocity banking, because there's really nothing faster to get rid of debt than velocity banking. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like this person is running their cash flow into their velocity banking tool, accelerating their debt pay down. But here's the problem. When you're all done with your debts, if that's all you do, you're back at zero.
Exactly.
You've gotten rid of your debts, but you're at zero. So
there's no debt for this.
Well, hold on, one more piece.
No.
So one more piece is, why not add infinite banking into the mix? Just like what Joe was saying, add infinite banking into the mix, because now you've got efficiency with your debts, you've got speed with velocity banking, and you've got infinite banking to build wealth. And so that when all of your debts are gone, you don't just have zero, you have cash value in your policy. Now we're going to take the money from your velocity banking tool along with the money in your policies. We're going to put that to work. We're going to build more and more cash flow.
Yeah, and thank you both.
I think
his thing is using the mortgage. It's a second lien HELOC. Oh, I'm back. Am I back?
You're back.
I'm back. Okay.
You're back.
So he has no debt. He has good savings, no debt. He has it's a second lien HELOC, and he's got the mortgage. So they're the only two things that money are flowing into at all. So his focus, I believe, is he just wants to pay off the HELOC, and he's just not seeing how this is a tool that he would want for protection, for guaranteed growth, for the opportunity fund. He just wants the HELOC to be paid off. So he wants to know how it fits together.
Well, you just said he has good savings. What does that mean?
I mean, he has discretionary funds every month that's just going into the HELOC.
Okay, but he doesn't have a savings account.
No.
Okay.
And what I would look at with that particular person is, could they go into an all-in-one versus the HELOC, the mortgage, because that's going to be a next level of efficiency.
Yep.
And now he can actually go to that next step of building wealth and paying the mortgage down. And that's what Joe and I have been doing for years, where we deploy, pay our mortgage off, deploy, pay our mortgage off.
If I could have got this all-in-one HELOC back when I started in 2010, I wouldn't have had to take the first chunk of the second lien HELOC for a year and a half, and then go to the next second chunk for another year and a half to 2 years, and then stay with that for almost 7 years, 8 years, and then move into the next one that I'm in now. That's a lot of time. And when people call me, I do the debt consolidation, I do the all-in-one, I incorporate everything in together. That person that it took me 4 years to do, I'm getting done with them in 45 days. That
and
took
Joe,
me
it's
4 years.
So one of the things is, maybe not everybody can get there, but think of this as like a ladder, where if you're doing nothing but prepaying your mortgage, I'm not a big fan of that.
No.
The next rung up on the ladder is you've got a second lien HELOC. You're at least chunking towards your mortgage. That's
Right.
better. The next rung on the ladder is the all-in-one, where it's
Yep.
a HELOC and a mortgage all-in-one, and you have more control. And then you start bolting on infinite banking, and so you just keep climbing up this ladder of better ways to do things.
Yep. I mean, if he has money in that HELOC, why not run it through the policy? That's a gold star right there.
A gold star.
A gold star.
Thank you, guys. I'm sure that was useful for a lot of people. And Shauna, yes, I do have one of those, and yes, I will send it to you.
Sweet, thank you. Jake is saying, if I do get the HELOC, is it best to put into a policy first before paying off debt? Did you hit on that just now?
We kind of talked through some of that, and from my perspective, it depends on what the debt is, what's the HELOC line of credit, and that's part of what the vault will help with. Is you just model that all out, and you can see, does the math make sense?
If he says, do I get the HELOC? If you get the HELOC through the bank and it's an all-in-one, you don't have a choice. They're going to pay off the mortgage. They're going to pay off the credit cards. They're going to pay it off. So the DTI stays inside the HELOC, and then you're left with whatever's left. That leftover is what you can put in as the dump. You can run that through the policy. And then when that comes out, now you can utilize that to put into an investment. Because why? All of your debt is already living inside the HELOC. Your DTI just went up. Your credit score just went up. It enables you to go to the next level.
Yep, and think of it this way too with what we're talking about is if you have money going from your HELOC to your policy, and then you deploy your money into an investment, let's just say you're doing private lending. If you go to Private Money Club, you'll see plenty of deals out there for 12, 15%. Well, let's just say you deploy $100,000 for 12%. That's $1,000 a month just coming back into the system. And with your income going into the all-in-one, that's going to pay it down faster. Let's just say, I don't know what your income is, but let's just say that you get all that money paid back in 5 years, 6 years, maybe faster. Then you take another 100 and you put it into the system, into the investment. Now you have 200,000 after creating cash flow along with your income to pay down that 100,000. That's what's going inside of the system, where when you hear Joe or myself say we paid our house off multiple times, that's why, as we keep deploying chunks of money. And as you build and build and build, and you get more and more out there invested in a safe place that like and understand, that's all coming back in cash flow into your HELOC. It's paying it back. You're paying your policy loans back. So it takes a few steps to get there, but that's what we're trying to get people to, is that step. Right, Joe?
You got it. And always pay the interest on the policy.
Always pay the
Can I just say on that for a second, guys?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
On the interest part, so I think it was like late last week, I talked to a client. They'd been with us for a couple of years, doing some great things, borrowing from their policy, going. I think they were making some investments, but they're forgetting the second half. They weren't being an honest banker, and they weren't paying themselves back. And so they're paying in $1,000 premiums every month. It was a decent sized policy, but then they were realizing, like, wait a second, why am I not seeing an increase in my loan available after I put these deposits in for premiums every month? And we looked at it, studied it a little bit, and I even got Lafayette on the phone to confirm what we were seeing. It's like, well, that interest has been getting a little out of hand out of a couple of years, and so now they're reducing the amount of what they could borrow from the loan. So they just needed to shift again, get that good habit back in place, pay yourself back, and put some more money towards the loan balance, and then that's going to get things back into a good level. So don't forget that part too, as we're talking about advanced strategies. The basics still are super important of being an honest banker and paying something back towards the interest. And I love just pulling up the calculator and look, like, here's your balance, multiply times the interest rate, divide by 12, put something back towards that loan balance every single month.
I'd lose money if I did that.
Well, you got at least good habits, Joe. We got to start with the good habits first, right?
Just saying.
And you're still saying you lose money compared to your opportunities. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that for everybody.
Because if the cash value is inside the policy, it's not making me that interest rate. I'm only saving 6% that I'm borrowing from the insurance company when I can make it 12. You just cut 6% away from me.
Again, there's the initial strategy, there's the baseline habits, and then there's advanced.
I'm only playing. I'm just.
I think the important thing here is of what you're both saying is we want to cover at least the loan interest on the policy so it doesn't compound on you year over year over year. And what Ethan's talking about is that was completely neglected. What Joe's saying is I don't pay my principal back, I pay my interest back. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because if I have to leave cash value in my policy, that means that I'm saving 6% of interest that I'm not putting to the company. But if that money's in my policy, now I can make 12% out here. So he just cheated me out of 6%.
But back to the simple basics, Joe. If anybody here, has a car loan or a credit card or a mortgage or anything, like if you're listening to this, you probably want a better way, but to get rid of these things, to have control of your money. And in any of those instances, have you ever not paid your payment on time? Have you not ever made attempts to take care of those things? So if you had your own system, would you treat your system as good or better than the systems of people that you don't even know that you're willing to pay and do all the things with? So
even better.
People get confused on that though, don't they? All the time, like, I don't have to pay it. Like everybody wants everything for free. Cake and eat it too. So now you must have just saw a spider. Something made him happy.
All right. Dexter is saying if the value of your home goes down, does that limit your access?
Oh, Dexter.
Like to where you started?
As far as on a first lien HELOC?
Yeah, like so if you have a HELOC and it's X amount, but then your home goes down, does anything happen, or because you got it at a certain time, like it is what it is?
Only if the bank would recall the HELOC, but I never had that happen. Well, my house never went down either. But the more money that you have out is just bringing in more cash flow.
They could potentially maybe lower the credit limit on that HELOC, kind of like a credit card can sometimes get the limit cut depending on circumstances. It's just a thought. Maybe they do that. Maybe they recall the whole thing if it comes to that. But real estate values would have to come down quite a bit for that to even be a concern.
After 2010, I had some investor acquaintances that they had their HELOCs adjusted. So the bank came back and said, hey, we're going to lower the limit you have on this thing. And so they did actually do it. So you've got to read the fine print to see what they can.
So if you have a $700,000 and you owe $690 and they say we're lowering it to $650, I'm going to say, have a great day. Go ahead, lower it. I still owe you $40. If that person had a 700 limit and had 600 borrowed with 100,000 available, that bank will take that down all day long.
Yeah.
But if I stay within 5,000 to 10,000 of what I owe, they're not going to touch mine.
I guess it depends on the fine print on whether they can require that extra 40 back from you, or whether it's just a balance that
I'm broke. I can't pay. I guess you're screwed.
Well, the thing is, if their fine print requires that back, maybe their fine print also recalls the whole thing and calls it due if you don't. So it just depends on the fine print. Maybe banks sometimes are like that.
I think there's going to be a difference in second liens and first liens. They're going to behave differently. On a second lien, I think, Brian, what you're talking about, if you had open credit, banks have taken that open credit.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it on a first lien HELOC, and I've asked CMG about that before, and they've never done it. I don't know if they can, but they've never done it.
That's what I was going to say. Bank dependent.
I've paid a HELOC for a whole year and then let it go. I've paid it month to month. I've paid it so it stays at it was 395 to 400. I left it between 395 and 399 for a whole year. So there's different things that I've done, and they haven't done anything.
They just want their money.
Well, they have collateral that's worth more than that, so they're okay with it while you're generating interest.
I will gladly pay 8% to make 8 and 12 and 15 all day long.
We'll finish on Anna's questions, which is a little bit of a two-part question on HELOC. So if you use your HELOC to fund your dump in and the policy is 7% more and the HELOC is 6.74%, if you have room on your HELOC to invest, should we take the policy loan to pay out debt, to pay down debt?
You had me in the beginning. If you usually want to fund your dump, yeah, and the policy is, well, I don't care what the interest rates are. What's you trying to say, Craig? If you take the HELOC to fund the dump, that's what we do all day long. And then what? And
I guess you say there's room in the HELOC. There's more room in the HELOC, so they didn't borrow all of it for the dump in. So there's room. What you do with that additional amount in the HELOC? Invest it, pay down debt, etc. Well, I mean, honestly, it's whatever accomplishes your goals first.
I would chunk it towards debt if you had extra. So you always want to leave enough room in policies or HELOC for emergencies. So
there is no more debt. The way that when we do it, I mean, it's all in, you know what I mean? It's all incorporated. So
and she might, I assume she was talking about a second lien HELOC. So that's part of the question too, is are you in a first or second lien HELOC on this? So Anna, do you have a HELOC in a mortgage, or do you have the first lien HELOC?
Everybody out there, if you can qualify for a debt consolidation on your mortgage to put it in to simple interest, don't just go after the second. Incorporate all of it together. It's going to save you so much money and so much time. It just makes sense. I did it. I've been there. I did it. I have the t-shirt for it.
And the wealth webinar replays are on Chris Nagel's YouTube channel. If you don't know what we're talking about with first lien HELOCs, then maybe go back and watch the last 4 episodes of wealth webinar, because it dove into this conversation heavily.
Okay.
What everybody doesn't understand is when you pay the policy, don't you get dividends back? The dividends are canceling out or taking a good portion of that interest. So just because you're paying 7 and getting 5 in dividends, you just dropped it. You can't calculate it at 7. Can't calculate it at 7 anymore because you dropped it to 2. Now what is your HELOC? 6. 6 and 2 is 8, and you're investing in 12. You're a positive 4. Don't forget about the dividends when you people are calculating, because you're coming in at 7 and coming in at 8. You're like, oh, I'm paying 15. You keep forgetting about what you're receiving.
I think that the 2-day is kind of perfect for that. There's a lot of that being kind of shown. It's 11 hours of content, at least scheduled. So if any of us talk any longer, it could be 12 hours by the time we're actually done. So I definitely suggest coming to the 2-day, September 12th and 13th.
And bring your spiders.
Invite your friends. There's plenty of room in the event. There's plenty of space for everyone to come learn. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring the people. We're going to be talking about how to carry this on through generations, how we can show you how to do the Rockefeller method, how you can have a river of values that kind of guide what you're trying to do, because we're all very intentional about what we're creating. And I know that if you're here watching, it's because you want something more. So make this an opportunity to invite people, to bring them, to make sure that they're there. So when you say what you're saying to them, they don't look at you like you have 5 heads and you're crazy and you're on fire or something. Or like Steven looks at a spider. They're trying to run away. Like, why are you talking to me about infinite banking again? Stop talking to me. So bring them. Can somebody put that in the chat? Where did I go?
He was afraid of the spider.
I guess so. Usually he's just doing this to make Joe laugh. When you do this, everyone, Joe laughs. Go away and come back.
I don't know.
Steven, don't worry. I'm going to talk to Patty and Gina and find out what those boys dislike, and we'll get some of that for them.
I'm not afraid of anything.
We'll find out.
Yeah. All right. Is that a wrap? We good?
That's a wrap. We did it.
That's a wrap. All right. If you guys want to learn more, buy a $47 ticket. We'll see you on the 2-day training September
12th and 13th. 12th and 13th.
12th and 13th. All right. Seriously, appreciate everybody being here today for all the shows. What the F was a lot of fun today with St. James. And I got thrown into the deep end there, but it was a good time. Wealth webinar was awesome. Way to go, Joe and Craig, concluding the 4-week series on all-in-one mortgages with the infinite banking concept. We're going to dive next week, the wealth webinar series, into what would the Rockefellers do. So we'll start talking about Garrett Gunderson stuff and family charters, which is something that Jason Sipple is working diligently on now, and we'll be sharing some of that at that 2-day training on September 12th and 13th. So awesome stuff. Of course, all of you that gave us questions today, appreciate that, all that. If you need to get more clarity, schedule a call with one of the money mentors. If you're new, just go to mentors.beyourownbanker.com. You can schedule any time that works for you. Otherwise, get with your money mentor, and they're there to help you guys. So appreciate it. Have a great day. Great life, great times. Awesome. Thanks. Bye. See you.
Bye.